Hey, what's happening, guys? Hope you guys are doing well today. A little short video for Saturday. I want to tell you I've been making a mistake in journaling my trades, and I'll show you how and why. Let's get to this right now in today's video. Let's talk about trade journaling, very important. So this is an Excel document of all of my total trades in July, and I have been making a mistake calculating the average return of my trading. All right, and I'll tell you how this managed to happen. So what I was doing originally is that when I would calculate the average return, just to give you a brief summary, the formula is simply the average of your winners times the win rate, that's in a bracket, minus the average of your losers times the loss rate, and that should give you your average return. Now, the mistake I was making, a very crucial mistake in fact, is that I was using the average of the losers, and it was in fact spitting out a negative number, because if you go to the realized profits, obviously the losers are in negative numbers here. I'll just move myself to the right. That's the reason why it was always spitting out a bad number. So generally what I would do is highlight the losers, and then it would give me something like this. So it would tell me that my average return is something like $10. So my average loser, for example, in this case here, my average loser is 17. So what this would be doing is that it would be doing average win times the win rate minus average loss times the loss rate. And if the average loss is spitting out a negative number, then that's going to mess up this formula. You have to put the loser as a positive number, and that's what I messed up. So don't make this mistake, please. So all you need to do to fix that is go into your Excel formula here. The first part of the formula is fine because it's a positive number, and then go to the second part of the formula here where you're averaging the losers. And before you times it by the loss rate, you're going to times it by -1. And now you should have the proper number, okay? So my average return is 65 cents in total over 500 trades. Now again, I did some work to kind of adjust this a little bit. So I in fact took out all these losers. These were losers that should not have been exceeding the amount. Now I've clearly skewed this in my favor. So if I add these losers back, then you're going to see that the average return is in fact negative. So you're going to see here now I've lowered the average return. And again, it's very easy to skew the results in your favor depending on how you calculate your winners, if you calculate break-evens into your win rate or not. For the sake of this example, I did in fact calculate some losers into the winning side. So basically anything up to a break-even, which was basically considered a $1 loss, meaning a commission in and a commission out equals about a 94-cent loss on the trade. Basically means that I entered and exited at the exact same price. I included that into the win side. You could say that that's slightly skewed in my favor on the win rate. But again, you can change this as you wish. If you don't want to include any of this into your win rate, then you can obviously put it higher. So based on the way I calculated it for July, 348 winners over 503 trades. And again, that's the total amount of trades was in fact 528. So if I bring this back to 528, you'll see that the win rate was approximately 65%. And again, the win rate is including all break-even trades. So now that I've changed the win rate back to 65, the average return is actually negative. So over 528 trades, my average return was negative, okay? So this is very important for you to do, guys, because this is going to tell you if you're profitable or not in your trading. And, you know, you obviously need to know if you're profitable. So if you have a lot of trades, you can clearly go and see if you should be profitable going forward based on your last results, and if you're not profitable and what you could improve on, okay? So what I did again by skewing the results in my favor was I went and removed all the losses over $21, because again, I always have a fixed loss of 10 points approximately per trade. So all of these trades that are over a 10-point loss, well, I consider them as a mistake, and those losses should not have actually happened. They should have all been 21. So I can go back and adjust this accordingly. And again, it's going to skew the results in my favor slightly. So you can do that to kind of see where you went wrong, what you could improve on, how you can, you know, cut trades quicker, and how you can lock in profits quicker. So all those little things are going to contribute to your overall results in your trading, right? So if you're taking a lot of break evens, you might need to go in and say, okay, every time the market gives me say 7-8 points, I'm going to lock in 5 or 6 points automatically and not let that come back to my break even, right? So depending on how many lots you trade and the market you trade, you need to adjust your strategy accordingly based on what your results are telling you. So if your results are telling you that you're just kind of borderline, you need to figure out things that you could slightly improve, that you could potentially lock in profits quicker and keep that average return positive, right? So you don't need a huge average return, but you do need it to be positive, because obviously if it's negative, then you're not making money. So that's pretty much all I'm going to talk about in this video, guys. So just to recap, just remember that for the loss side of your trades, if you're importing values into Excel as negative numbers, make sure to multiply it by -1 before multiplying it by your loss rate so that you can get the correct number. That's it. All right. One last thing I wanted to say is that if you're declaring your trading income as business income, which you should if you're a day trader, all commissions generally fall under the category of a business expense. So my P&L for July was minus $371, and the amount of trades I took was over 500 trades. So if you remove all the commissions, which is approximately 94 cents in and out, I was actually positive on the month. So considering the fact that I overtraded, my average return was slightly negative. This month of July was actually a profitable month if you take out all commissions. So again, getting back to the fact that if you declare your trading income as business income, then generally your commissions are going to fall under a business expense. Therefore, it is deductible against your overall income. So these are things I think about in regards to trading and taxes and this and that. All right, guys. So if you learned something from this video, that's great for you. If you have any comments about this, let me know, and I will see you in the next video.